Hello and welcome back to Moore's Virtual So Fun Club. We're so glad that you could join us here at our Brea location, and I've got a lot to talk about tonight. So sit in and get comfortable and let's get going. The first thing that I want to bring up is some great news that we have as far as what's going on at the stores, and we have live events back. So our first one that we have is Floriani's FTCU, and it's going to be hands-on location here at our Brea site. But I also have something else to talk about. We also are having a virtual one. So you have two options for the Floriani FTCU. Now the hands-on one will be on the 9th and 10th, like I said, here at Brea. And we have room for 30 students. So you're going to want to register early. And one of the things that you can do if you don't already have the software is we are going to have a free demo version that you can upload or download onto your computer, whichever one is correct. As you can see, I'm not the most technically advanced person when it comes to software and stuff, but you're going to want to make sure that you get the download FTCU onto your computer before the event, and that version is going to be so that you can follow along with the class and learn all the wonderful techniques. You won't be able to save anything, but you can see all the benefits of having that software. We will be keeping COVID precautions in place, so they will be taking your temperature when you come in the building. We will be having spread out seating, and we're taking every precaution for everyone that comes in for the safety of not only all the staff here at Moore's and the teacher, but also all of our students. So we're going to take every precaution that we can. Now the registration, you have two different options also for this event. You have the option of using one of our wonderful top-of-the-line machines, and if you do that, the registration is $99, which, don't forget that we include lunch, and we're going to include chocolate, all of the tools and techniques that you will need for the event. But we also have another option for registration. If you would choose to use your own machine, you could bring that in, and your registration would then be $69. So you have two ways to register, two different options, lots of stuff to consider, but we're hoping that you join us for our Floriani FTCU hands-on event at Brea. And once again, that's on July 9th and 10th. Now, we have another thing, like I said, we have a virtual event, and that's going to be on July 8th. Now, the virtual event, everyone can follow along. It's free. Isn't that awesome? And we will have the educator, Judy Frendenberg. She will be available to answer any questions that you have during the live event. And we have different options that you can do. You can watch it from the convenience of your couch or your sewing room at home, or why not join a bunch of other Moore's enthusiasts and come into some of the locations that we have available, and we're going to be showing it live there at our stores. Now, we do have one exclusion to that, is because the hands-on event will be at Brea the next day, we can't offer the Brea location for you to come into. But keep in mind, we have Huntington Beach, Temecula, Corona, and Mission Viejo all available for you to go. Join your friends, bring your buddies, and you're going to want to join in on the FTCU virtual event. And once again, that's going to be 3 hours from the 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and it's on July 8th. So with watching at home, you can also download the the free demo version of FTCU, and you want to make sure that you have that ready to go and loaded on your computer before the event starts. So lots of options for FTCU, and we hope that you join us. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but if you haven't been to moors-so.com lately, I have been just so shocked at all the different classes that we have at all of our locations. you're going to want to go and check out what's going on at our local stores. And as I said before, for the FTCU event, we have 5 locations here in Southern California, in Mission Viejo, Corona, Temecula, Brea, and also Huntington Beach. They all have different teachers and educators that come in and offer different classes. So even if you live out by Corona, you may want to come into Brea and take one of the wonderful classes that we have there. So check out all of the classes that are listed and offered at all of our Moore's locations. And another thing that I'm going to tease you about a little bit, we have Tech Party coming in August. I know it's one of the most exciting times for all of us here at Moore's, and we know that you guys get excited too. So mark your calendars in August. Tech Party's coming. Yay! And now it's time for show and tell, and I have a special guest here tonight. I have Karen Keneally here, one of my good friends here from our Brea location, and she's going to hold up my show and tell that I brought in tonight. I always like to start you guys off with a show and tell. And this show and tell that I have here tonight is a quilt that I made, and it's just a scrap one. There you go. Just go right in front of me, Karen.
Anytime.
And it's just some fun fabrics that I had that I put together, and it was a design that I had come across. It's not difficult. On the back, I did one of the things that I love to do with scraps is I piece together the back. And a lot of times people don't think about piecing together your back, but you always end up with those oddball pieces, and what a perfect way to get rid of some of those scraps that you have. So since Karen's here, I'm gonna have her show and tell one of her little quilts that she just made, and it's a new technique from Floriani, so bring it on over, Karen.
Hello. I can do the hello. This is one of in the recent update, it's called the swirl fill, and I can't stop doing them. And this is one of the first little quilt I've done. So it's just
Isn't that cool? So that's from Floriani, and it's just amazing. The colors, it reminds me of those little spinal grafts that we had when we were little, huh, Karen? Yep.
I'm hooked.
Okay, so let me get my mic clip back on. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now let's talk about the giveaway. Now for show and tell, basically we want you to share what you've made, but you can you can comment, and you can download a picture onto our Facebook site, and that way you can get into the drawing to win this wonderful item that I have here today. Let me grab the box. So we have a Floriani box filled with threads, designs, software, and stabilizer. It is a $500 value, so it's not just a little piddly gift. This is something that everyone's gonna want. And if you're not an embroiderer and you win this, come on down to one of our locations and we'll set you up with a machine. But this is a great thing even if you're just a quilter. So make sure that you like, share, comment on our Facebook page, and you can be in the running for this wonderful prize. Okay, so this month what we have for our trunk show is we're having Miele vacuums, and I'm so excited. I got a special treat, and I got to borrow one of the vacuums for about a month and use it in my house, and I got to use the TRIFLEX HX1. And let me tell you, I am addicted to this vacuum. It was so much fun to use, and I loved learning the ins and outs and what this vacuum can do. Now, I put together a little video. Let me get over here, and I have a testimonial that I'm going to give. So from here, let's watch this wonderful video. Hello! 1 second. Alexa, turn off music. dust off my face. Cleaning's hard work. It's not like sewing and quilting. But anyways, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we have in store for you this month for Sew Fun Club. And we've got this wonderful vacuum, the Miele Tri Flex Pro, that I've had the privilege to have for about a month. And I've been using it all over my house. Even my husband has gotten into the game of vacuuming. Truth be told, though, he probably vacuums more than me anyways. But he's just as enamored as I am. So this is the TRIFLEX Pro. It is cordless. I don't know if you saw when I was getting my groove on back there, that I can buzz all around without having a cord, which is wonderful and convenient. This vacuum is super lightweight. Look at that. So it's only 8 pounds, which is wonderful. And because of the name TRIFLEX Pro, it reconfigures in 3 separate reconfigurations that I'm going to show you a little bit later. It is lightweight, compact, bagless, and it's got 3 power settings. So let me turn on the first one. As you can see, I can still have a conversation with you and you can hear me. Now, let me turn it off there so that we have a little bit clearer. But so that's the first setting. And with that setting, you can basically vacuum almost everything. But say you've got some really deep ground in stuff into your carpet, your shag, then you're going to want to bump it up to the second level. And then you get even more power. But wait, we even got more. Let's take it up to the 3rd level. Now with this baby, I don't think there's any dirt that can resist this level of clean. So we've got 3 different power levels, super lightweight, canister. It comes with a HEPA filter, so it's going to keep those particles out that we do not want to get redistributed into our rooms. But let me talk a little bit about, my glasses are fogging up because I've been working so hard, but let me talk a little bit about why I'm here in my craft room with this vacuum. Like I said, I brought the vacuum in so that I could test it out and see its advantages and why it's such a great fit in my craft room. Now, just like me, it doesn't matter what type of crafter you are, and I've talked about this with machine maintenance, but if you have a sewing machine running, it creates fibers that get redistributed into the room. Now, if I'm using my batting, that's going to create even more, and depending upon what thread you're using, it can even be worse. So cotton threads tend to release more fibers than obviously a polyester or a rayon, but all of that gets blown about my room. And that's why this room, my craft room, is probably the dirtiest room in the house as far as fibers and stuff floating around. Now, with that said, it probably gets vacuumed more in here by me than any other room in the house because I like to keep on top of the mess. Basically, every time I get done creating a project, I clean up around. And one of my big things that I love to do, and I can't wait to show you this in a little bit, is vacuum out my machine to make sure all those dusts and fibers are taken out of the machine, which makes me not have to take in my machine for preventative maintenance as much. So I love that, and I can't wait to show you that. But having a craft room and constantly having those fibers, like I said, it's a dusty room. There's no way of getting around it. And having the flexibility of a lightweight cordless machine where I can get in and go wherever I need are just huge pluses and advantages for me. I also have a tendon on my hand that hurts, so using this vacuum doesn't bother me. It doesn't cause strain, and the fact that I can redistribute the weight of the vacuum depending upon where I put the canister makes it easier for me to run it too. So lots of pluses, perfect for my back, my hand, my knees, everything. I just love this vacuum, and I can't wait to show you all the additional things that it can do for you too. So let's get going, and I'm going to show you some more things. Okay, so you can see now I have it in the handheld configuration. Super easy to get it there, and I'll show you that a little bit later when we're in the store. But with this, the TRIFLEX Pro comes with 3 attachments. It's got this wonderful upholstery attachment, and then we've got one with a brush end, and then I love, this is probably my favorite vacuum attachment of all times. It's the crack and crevice attachment, and it's great. Turn it on, and I can literally vacuum all the way around my machine, getting all those cracks and crevices. And I love this additional attachment on my vacuums because I am a fanatic about getting in the very corners where the carpet hits the wall and making sure that all of that dust stuff that kind of accumulates there gets picked up, especially on my steps. Crack and crevice tools are definitely one of my favorite attachments on a vacuum, so I love that it has that. But one of the best things about purchasing your Miele Tri Flex Pro, or I have 2 other models that I'm going to show you a little bit later, is that we are giving away some specials. So we have a special, and with that we are offering up this other attachment set, and that's why it's so cool to have it here in my craft room. So let me put the vacuum down real quick, and let me show you all of these wonderful attachments that we have. So we have them with brushes, a small little brush, some little crack and crevices, but small ones where you can really make it longer and get exactly where you want to be into cleaning. And isn't that the best part of it all? So you can make it really long if you needed to get into a long area and you couldn't reach it. This will help you do that. So with that said, let me show you how to attach this together. So there's a simple one that comes here. You're going to stick that on. One more we're going to attach on. And then look, we've got this cool hose that's included in our promotional special. And then with that end, I can simply attach the different tools that I need. And now, simply turning on my thing, I can really, woo, I turned it on the highest setting. Now I can really get in and clean up around my machine. Now, one of my favorite places to clean is the top of my machine here. It's where most people forget or neglect to dust. So getting in here, I can really get into all the grooves, down where the spool is. I can clean all of the little dust bunnies in there. I love that, and I love being able to take care of my machine so that I don't have to send it in for service a lot. Let me turn it off. Now the other area that's really important that I clean, and I do it religiously on my machine, is the bobbin case area. Let me get these tools out of the way. I'm going to release that, and I'm going to take off the plate there and expose the inner workings of my machine. Go ahead and take out my bobbin and also my bobbin case. Now that exposes this whole area here. And if you could see how much accumulation I have here in my machine, it's quite a lot, to be honest with you. And I take care of it, and I brush up my machine all the time. But like I said, those fibers just continue to collect. And right now I have some cotton thread on here, so I can see that red tinge from the fibers from my thread all down in my bobbin case. So I'm going to put on the crack and crevice attachment so that I can really get in there and clean and vacuum out. Now I am going to turn it on high because I want to make sure that I can get down and dirty, get all of those dust bunnies and all the fibers out. So give me a second. Okay, and just like that, it is clean in there. Now, one of the things that I want to show show you another area where people don't think of. Now my machine, my Janome here, I'm able to expose the needle area, but you want to clean up in that area too. So if you don't have where you can access that area, you're going to want to go straight through. Let me put this back on. And just make sure that you do a little vacuuming in this area. Since I can open mine up, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. And there we go. So now I've got all those fibers contained, and I can't tell you how many times I've been sewing, and I'll have a nice big dust bunny drop down onto whatever I'm sewing, and oftentimes I'll sew it into my quilt, which is kind of frustrating. I've then got to get it out of the way. So I love that I can get in here with the Miele Tri Flex little precise, precision, tiny tools that makes your handheld vacuum turn into your sewing machine maintenance department, so to speak. I love that. Now keep in mind, these tools will be useful all over the house. Think about it. If you wanted to vacuum out some of the stuff in your car, you can. It's handheld, lightweight, easy to travel, and I didn't even mention the Pro version here that I have here comes with 2 batteries, and we have different ways that you can charge it. You can just plug it in, or you can attach it to a wall mount where it will charge by itself, but those 2 batteries will give you 120 minutes of running time. Think about that. You could clean and detail your car with your Miele, and with all these little crack and crevices and wonderful tools, it could be spick and span in no time. So I want to show you a couple other things. Let me reconfigure one more time. Okay, so I've got it in the 3rd configuration. So I've had it in a handheld, I've had it in a regular upright. And this one, look at this configuration. Now the beauty of this configuration is, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to be able to get under furniture. So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to go way under there. Let me do that again. Way under there. How cool is that? So no more do you have to kind of move everything around to get under your bed or under your cabinet to get all the dust bunnies. The way that this one configures, you can do basically 3 different types of vacuum in one, because you can reconfigure this wonderful TRIFLEX Pro many different ways. And that's what I have to show for you, and I've got more to show you back in the studio at Brea. Okay, so let me talk. How did you love that video? I had so much fun getting ready. And let me tell you, just so you know, it took about 15 minutes to even find a song that I could dance to at the start of that video. And I went through, I don't know, probably like 50 songs until I got one I liked. And I won't even tell you how many takes it took. But anyways, let's talk about the vacuum. So the Miele Tri Flex, and I tell you, I am just enamored with it. It did everything I possibly could. And my 2 vacuums that I have at home, yeah, I don't think they're going to cut it anymore. And I've already talked to George about possibly getting myself this one to stay. But I love the vacuum, I really do. And it was so convenient and easy. And because of it can stay in my craft room, I used it constantly, and I didn't have to go to my cabinet and bring a vacuum in. It was just there ready to go whenever I wanted it. So the TRIFLEX Pro is the one that I got to use, and I've got a few pictures that didn't make it on. So this one, I am actually using it to get the cracks and crevices. And I talked about the dust in the video, about doesn't matter what type of sewer you are, as you're sewing, that machine is creating lint and dust and throwing it around your room. And that's why that room is the dirtiest room in our house. But my furniture, my chairs, oh my gosh, all of that stuff just collects that lint and dust and fibers from my sewing machine. So I always go around all the cracks and crevices and make sure that I get everything picked up. and I have asthma. I'm not problematic, but when it flares up, it's not good. So I'm always very careful when I dust, and I would rather vacuum something up than have it in a cloth that I can possibly redistribute through the house. So I love to vacuum my dusting to make sure that it's out of the way and contained in a container, and that way it doesn't bother me. So this one here, I'm using it on my furniture. Another thing is I love the convenience of using the handheld to get the cracks on my ceiling, on those cobwebs that form up there. So using that for that was perfect. And then also using it on my chair. Now, I don't know if you're like me. My chairs, and this is my koala chair, but the bottoms of it, they just get covered with the lint and dust. And the brush attachments just fixed them up perfectly to where they look new again. So I love that we can use the upholstery attachments on this TRIFLEX. And it like I said, it got a workout in my place. And then I also used it on my tile. Now I'm going to show you a little bit later how the head completely swivels around. So you don't have to vacuum straight back and forth. You can actually swivel it around and make turns, and it's kind of fun. It's one of those things where if you have kids in your house, they're going to love to use this vacuum. But I also love on the Pro one that I had, that light. There's dust that you don't even know is there, and once that light is on there, you're like, oh my golly, let me suck that stuff up, and this vacuum did it. So I used it on my tile as well as my carpet, and it worked perfectly. And I also love the fact that if this vacuum is turned on, and say you have to grab the phone, you have to run to the door because your Moore's order just arrived, you can leave it standing upright on, and it's not going to fall over. It is so cool. So as you can see here in the picture, it's look mom, no hands, and it is turned on and it is standing up all by itself. And I absolutely love that. Now the Miele Tri Flex Pro is only 8 pounds that I talked to you about before. It's cordless, it's bagless. It can be a handheld, it can be an upright with 2 different positions. And I told you it'll stand up all by itself. It's compact. If you wanted to take it out to your car and detail your car, it's absolutely got the power for it. The Pro comes with 2 batteries, which gives you 120 minutes of run time, which is absolutely amazing. You could detail your car and come in and detail your sewing machine and still have more time to vacuum the carpet. So you've got lots of power in there. The brushes, I'm going to show you a little bit later. You can remove the brushes for easy cleaning. Now on my other vacuums, we have to sit there and dig and like get with tweezers to pull the threads out. It is super convenient, and I can't wait to show you that in a couple minutes, how you can take the brush roller assembly out and clean it up on your own. It also has flexible charging options. There's 3 different ways that you can charge your batteries. And I'll show you them in a little bit. It also has a lifetime HEPA air clean filter. And there's 3 pieces of accessories that come with it, and those are integrated into the wall mount that I'll show you. Now this vacuum is amazing, and Miele has been around since 1899. It's a family-run business still to this day, just like Moore's. And retail on this vacuum is $8.99, but we have a So Fun Club special, and the vacuum is only $799.99. But wait, we've got more. So with that, let me grab my little box here. I know that I showed in the video how we have the additional accessories, and I love these accessories. Like I said in the video, they can turn your vacuum into your own little service maintenance department for your sewing machine to keep it nice and clean, and those dust bunnies you can retrieve out yourself with this wonderful toolkit. So we're including this with the sale of your vacuum and free shipping. So all of that for this Pro is $799.99. And with any of the 3 options that I have to show you on these MEILE'S, you will get the wonderful accessory kit as well as free shipping. Now I want to talk a little bit about the other vacuums. So I'm going to get up over here and catch you in a second. Okay, so let me talk about the 3 different models here. Now this is my baby that I had at home, and I want you to take a look at the charging station here. It can be set up on your wall, and then you basically pick it up and you're ready to go. So to start it, you simply step, and as I showed you in the video, turn it on, and you're ready to go. All the power up, and then off, and like I said, this one is the one in this configuration, let me turn it back on, where you can get really down. So I love that. Now there's 3 different ways to charge this vacuum. Right here is one of the batteries, and on here you'll see that we have a mount here, and you simply set this up in your house and you're good to go. Now let me talk real quick about 2 other ways that you can charge your MEILE'S. Okay, so the 3 different ways that you can charge your MEILE, we have the one that I talked about here that you can mount onto your walls. We also have a battery charging port that you can have in your house, set aside somewhere where you can put just the batteries in. Or what I did at my house is I just used this, plug this into my wall, and this little port there just plugs right into your vacuum. It's super easy, and your flexibility as far as how you want to charge it. So let me put these aside. Now let me talk about the dog and cat. So this is the dog and cat one, and I want to show you just how easy it is to change up the heads. So we talked about how they're very convertible. Look at that. Let me do it real quick. You simply push this button here, pull up, and now it's handheld. And I can put this attachment on and clean whatever I want. Super, super easy. So let me put that back on. And just like that. Now if you want to change and get rid of your dust, you simply slide this over, lift it out, and look at this cartridge, super fast. Reverse it to put it back in, and you're good to go. Although better if you have both your hands available. Slide it over, super easy. And the dog and cat comes with an additional brush. So this brush is made for upholstery and furniture. Very compact, very powerful, and it will take care of all those wonderful hairs and dander that get around from having animals in your house. The dog and cat version is made for that. It's why they specifically made it for you with the animals. The only difference is between the Pro, when you go down to the dog and cat, let me go to the slide real quick. So the Miele dog and cat version here, let me talk about the differences. You're going to get basically the same as the Pro. You're going to get that additional brush that I showed you. You'll get only 1 battery, but it will last for 60 minutes. And you get the same HEPA Air Clean lifetime filter, which those filters will take out 99.99% of captured particles and also will store that fine dust into that filter. So great, great plus with all the wonderful things that you can do to take care of your dog and cat dander and fur. It's definitely a great value. Now the normal price for this vacuum is $799.99, but we have our So Fun Club special, and that is going to be $69.99. And don't forget, you're going to also get the wonderful tool set as well as free shipping. So it's a great value for anyone that has animals. Now I want to show you one more version, and this is just the regular TRIFLEX HX1. And let me show you the slides real quick, and then I'm going to go over and show the actual machines. Now the difference between the Pro, the dog and cat, and the HX1 is the HX1. You're going to get all the wonderful configurations that you can do with the vacuum. You get one battery again, but 60 minutes runtime. You will not have a light on the actual vacuum, and you get all the same brushes as the Pro, but the filter is a hygiene lifetime filter, and that only takes out 99.98. You lose 0.01 on that as far as capturing the fine particles. So the difference between 99.99 and 99.98, you know, one little digit there. And this vacuum, the base model, is $599.99, but we have our wonderful So Fun Club special, and that brings that vacuum down to $499.99. What a great deal. And then don't forget the wonderful brush set that you will get included in the purchase and free shipping. So I love these vacuums. Now I'm going to run back over and I want to show you real quickly the differences in them as they stand. Okay, so let me talk about these two are the two upright configurations. I showed you before with the dog and cat, the handheld, but the two uprights, I want to break it down real quickly what the differences are. When the canister is all the way up to the top here, this is perfect for under your bed, under your furniture, and the weight is at the very top. But oftentimes when you're vacuuming, if you're just doing general vacuuming, like so, you're going to want to have the weight lower down. So if you can see on the side here, the silhouette here, the canister's lower. So that takes the pressure off of your shoulders, your elbows, and your wrist, and it redistributes that weight to the bottom of the vacuum. So here you're going to have 8 pounds on your wrist. Here, I'm telling you, it is so light, easy, and convenient. It's got to be about half the amount of weight because of where the weight is distributed. Other than that, they're the same. This one, like I said, will stand up. This one, when it's configured in this way, you're not going to have it stand up because of that weight. But super easy to change it. Presto, flexo, you've got it all the way switched down, even to the little handheld. So I love this vacuum. I know you will too. And so convenient, so flexible. Once again, the Miele Tri Flex series of vacuums. You're not going to want to miss out on this So Fun Club special. Okay, so what do you think? 3 amazing vacuums that you have to choose from. We have the Miele Tri Flex Pro, which is the one that I used at home and I absolutely love. We have the dog and cat version for anyone that has animals. And then we also have the base model, the HX1. All 3 of them are amazing. Which one will you pick? Don't forget that you get that vacuum attachment set for free with your purchase, as well as free shipping. And we have the wonderful So Fun Club pricing. I don't know which one you'd pick. I guess it depends upon if you have an animal or not, but you're gonna love this vacuum. So that concludes another month of So Fun Club. I am so happy that you joined us here today, and I look forward to seeing you next month here on Moore's Virtual So Fun Club. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you soon.